Dave here. How are you? Today is the 28th of February for us in the people that are closer to the international date line. Obviously, there's a few people that are still yesterday. Okay, enough of the drivel. Today I've got a pretty busy show, so I've got to hook into it. Good morning to absolutely everyone there. I see that Emerald is also watching from wherever they are in Australia at the moment. And thank you very much for that, Derek and Peter, from wherever they are in Australia. And during the show, I'm going to show you an interview that my granddaughter, who is 8, going on 20, conducted with a girl, her friend Ginger, and her mum Meg. And it's about Cat 6A. So today, if you weren't aware, is Disabilities, also Rare Disease Day. So it's a disability that these people have got. We all take life for granted. We just come into the world and away we go. Life is great. And sometimes we don't actually stop to consider how fortunate we are. So that interview will be halfway through the video. Oh, sorry, halfway through the show. I'm getting a little bit tangled up here. So this week on the show, we're going to fit the hinges and stays on the cedar box, and then it's finished. Some video from the week as I was going through the process of making the thing as well. A viewer's project sent in, furniture from a tree in the backyard. Just amazing. You wait till you see this, you'll be blown away. Make a simple disc sander platform sled. We're going to do that on this back here. And a 3D printed radius jig that Derek has decided he's been watching Cole Hosey on the Gifkin's Dovetail Jig show that runs an hour prior to my show. And Cole had a little thing there, and Derek thought, I could print something up as well, you know, so he's done that. The Rare Disease Day, get behind it. Light fittings finished and installed. That's the first thing we're going to have a look at. The Woodwork and Whiskers Monday meetup last week was on Instagram TV. I have put a link in the description box. There are a heap of links in the description box. Go down there, click on the show more below the video, and you'll see there's a link to cat6a.org, rare diseases, and also there is a link, well, my email, so if you want one of Derek's little jigs, flick me an email and I'll forward it on to him. There is a link to the video that Ash did from Woodworking Whiskers, which, you know, if you want to giggle about muggins, and also win a pair of G6 eye muffs. This is a big show. Now these are G6 eye muffs, and I spoke to George and he said, you know what, Dave, how about we do the neon orange ones this time? So these things are great. You can wear a dust mask, glasses, and throw these over the top. Everything's protected. George, the guy who invented these, is a wall and floor tiler. And so dust and everything all over the place all the time. He needed something to work with. All right, the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the light fittings finished and installed. So I'll remind you from last week, sounds and looks good in New York. Excellent. From last week, let me go down to here. It's a fair way down. You remember that I'd got a light fitting up there it's kind of a ceiling light above the area that Vicky and I've got this desk that runs along one wall, and we've got a couple of computers there, and it's very dark because the room is lit from behind us. So we throw a shadow over ourselves, over the work area. So this is a light that I've put up there, and I thought, you know what, let's make the fitting and go with it. So here's a bit of video of me working with the Stanton bench. I'll let it run. So that's what I ended up with. Now I've got one up and I've got the other one here with me. So I thought you might want to have a quick look at how I made them. This is the other one I'm about to throw up. Morning, David. Good morning, Stephanie and Harry and Matthew. Yeah, Matthew, it's, you know, life deals out some bad cards to some people, and, you know, we just have to live with that as a community. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so happy that Emerald did this, this interview. All right, now, it's a collection of DVDs. That was back in the day when everyone bought a DVD once a week, you know, save a show, build up your library. We don't do it anymore. Anyway, there we go. That's the unit that I was making on the bandsaw and all that kind of stuff the other week. And there's that little slot in the back that enabled this to go into the, against the kind of relief area, like a crown molding that I created on that bookshelf when I built it. And these are just an LED that's the same temperature, 3000 Kelvin, that I can plug in. And they've worked well. So on the inside, you can see it's very basic. Just an area where you can, those little clips, spring clips that are designed to go across the ceiling. So that's good. I'm very happy with those. This is the one over Vicky's desk. I'll have to pop that in before she gets back from work. Let me have a look. All right. Oh, let's just do a little bit of work on this. I haven't finished this one. Jump the gun. Now, how they stay up there is I've made this little piece of ply, and it's going to go across there. So I can slide this up against the unit and then put 3 screws in the back of that. I'm going to put some screws in here now. I use a 2.5mm drill. I'll go to Carl Cam. There we go. Done. Not hard. And a couple of screws. Out there. See, little things like this. The great thing about woodwork is if you get an idea about something, you just jump in. Sell all the other planes. Yeah, I should do. That's a great plane, that hand plane that I made. I love it. 1, 2, and the last one is there. Done. There we go. See that? That will slide over the crown mold that I've got, like so. And then I'll put a couple of screws into the capping piece and it'll stay up there just like it did on the video. Bit of fun. Yep. Now the other interesting thing I wanted to show you is with stain. There's a lot of things you can buy that are stain, varnish, all included in one. I'm not a fan of those. I really don't like them. I like to be able to stain the timber and then put a finish on it. Now that original unit up there was years and years ago. I think I built that about 15 years ago. And I used Baltic stain and satin estopol. So this is pine before I start. Stain, of course, it doesn't look anywhere near the same as that when it's got the finish on it. It's a lot lighter. And then the satin estopol on there, and it's not a bad match. It's not a bad match at all. All right, next thing. I've written down here what we're going to be doing. The sled over here. So we're 10 minutes into the show. Everything's going well. The sled. All right, I'll switch cameras to behind me. And I'll have a quick read down the side there. Looking good. Thanks, Matthew. Hey, Dave, the lights look great. Thanks, Wally. All right, so here we have what a lot of people would have. This is the same principle for making a bandsaw sled, or one for this, or even if I had the table on this one over here, be the same kind of thing. This is a fixtures bar. I think this one's from Craig. And the thing is with these, They are around about just a little bit less than 3/8 of an inch thick and 3/4 of an inch wide. So just a little bit less than 19.05 and just a little bit less than 9.56, I think a 3/8 is, because then it's just slightly down from the slot. The slot is the full size. Now, all I do, you can do it in polyethylene as well. So this is a chopping board material. And some people prefer that. I just drill a few holes and countersink them. And they slide nice and easily. They work fine. But I think I'm going to go with the fixtures bar on this particular situation. This one also, it's got little grub screws that you can adjust, and it brings these little hard plastic or nylon bumpers out to lock it in place. So putting it with the countersinks down, like so. Make sure there's nothing in the slot. Put this on here and push that hard up against there. And then we're going to pull that out tight, like so. And I'm not using glue or any other tricky stuff. A clamp there, and a clamp at the other end. Now when I put the clamps on, I'm keeping pressure up against the disc there. I might bring this around a little bit further around there, so it's a bit easier to see. Now when I move it backwards and forwards, it's tight, and that's on purpose. So there we go. I'm going to bring this back over to the bench, and we'll drill these and put some screws in. I use a 2.5mm drill bit for these screws. Oh, actually, I might look at using this. This is a self-centering. It's going to be better than that 2.5. Now, there's a company that actually makes these, Vic's bits, or you can find some cheaper knockoffs on the internet, and that's what I've got on this one. And basically it centers, and that will give me the center of the hole. Done. Yep. The Craig miter bars are lovely. I like them a lot. All right. Now we can put some screws in there. I need some screws out of the screw box. Now, Wally's the person who's built this amazing vanity out of a birch tree that he had in the backyard. You're going to be blown away when you see it. I couldn't believe he even did a barley twist. Homemade jig. You gotta hang around for it. Okay, we'll put these in. A little bit more on the clutch. Done. Now these screws may go through just a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll have a look on the other side. Now it's not just P&N do a set too. Like lots of people do them. Won't be long. One screw to go. Take the clamps off. I love these little click clamps, they're fantastic. Cole uses them on his Gifkins jig. I use them in here all the time. They're just so easy to use. And they're light, they're magnesium, I think. Throw those out of the way. Quick sip of coffee, we're still doing well on time. Now the next thing we're going to do is return it. That's looking good. And I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to tune it. So I'll turn this one on the other camera, and you can me up in the corner as well. and I'll put my eye muffs on. These are great. Where are we? Now I've got this set up on my automatic blast gate up there from autoblastgates.com.au. So hopefully it will all turn on. Yep, dust extraction is running. We're going to feed it in. As it's going up, it's getting closer and closer and closer. And now it's sanding it. Now we're going to come around this side and hold it. See that? Now that's a great mate for what we've got there. And everything else turned off. How cool is that? Morning bygones. Let's go back to this one. All right, so there we go. Next thing, if you want to trick it up a little bit more, get yourself a combination square. And now I know that this end is absolutely parallel to that disc. Not that that means much because it's a sander for crying out loud, but what I can do now is I can use my combination square and I can set it to the other side. I'll flip it over and push it back in. And I think that's going to work. 10. Yep, I'll put it in that way. And I'm thinking for a second. Yep, I'll set it to 100. All right, I've set the combination square to 100 millimeters. So what I can do now is I can put a line off this side, and I'm going to put a face mark on it, a face and an edge, like so, so I know where I'm at. Yep. And now I can come over here with my clutch pencil and put a line up there. And I can put marks at every 10 millimeters. Now, what I've got then is a line there that's going to say to me, if I want to do something that is a radius of 20 millimeters, I can put a little hole there and maybe put a nail in, sharpen a point up on it, and I've got a spike for a disc to rotate for 20 millimeter radius, which is 40 millimeter wheels, up to 100 or even more if I wanted to. Now the thing we need to do, what's that? Peter, do I need to get it? Okay. How did we see dust coming off the sander? Because the dust extraction was, the sander on that end was lifting up. See? At this side, the disc is lifting up. There is nothing above here to catch. It's only on the downside. Okay, so you're being a difficult child, Alan. All right, now what I want to do is have a look at Derek's invention. And that is amazing. Look at this. This is an 11 millimeter radius disc sander. Or sorry, sets it up for creating 11 millimeter radius. So we'll take it back over here and I'll switch the cameras again so you can have a good watch. This one. All right. So do you see that, Alan? The disc's turning this way. As it's taking stuff off, it's up into fresh air. The dust port's down here, buddy. So it's only the stuff that's going down. And I always work this side. I don't work this side. That was just for trimming it. All right, let's pop that in. Now this, what I can do is I can just lean it up against there, and using that same drill bit, I've marked it. I'm going to bring it back out to there. And I've got a small screw here. And the important thing is, maybe Derek, if you can make that countersink a little bit bigger. I could do it with a countersink bit, but it just sits the head up above just a touch. See that? So what we're going to do now is pop that in there. I'm not using the drill to do this because I just want to go carefully. Until, that's nice, look at that. That's amazing. All right, let's get a piece of plywood and create a round, or maybe even something like that. I think we could do that. So I can bring this back to here. I'm going to turn it on. So we're all watching. Bring it back. Ah, Derek, I've done a little bit on it, but I think we'll be okay. How cool is that? I'm going to do one at the other end because I just went straight through this. I'm going to do one at the other end. That is so easy. Now that's a combination. That is a combination. Wait for the dusty to turn itself off. Of collaboration. Now, I'm just reading down here through the rest of it. So yes, there is. I also have one of those belt cleaning sticks, if you call it an eraser. Now, yes, Aussie man, Derek and Cole had a chat about it all, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Now Derek is going to do a series of 4 different sizes. I think he's going to go imperial, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and inch, which would be brilliant for so many things that we get from the States. He may even make a metric set, but I think he's talking around about, if you buy a set of 4, you'll do it for the price of 3. If you buy one, well, it's a single price. And I think he's going to do postage for free to Australia. So you need to send me an email if you're interested. I'll forward it on, and then Derek can respond to you from there. Or Derek, if you want to put your email address down the side there, your call, whatever you want to do. But I'm happy enough to do that. Now, next thing, we've done it. We're moving on well, 25 past. To number 3, Rare Disease Day. Now, Emerald, who is watching now, is my granddaughter, and her mum, dad and brother are doing a lap around Australia. Now, the COVID situation has kind of jiggered things up. So instead of taking a year, it might take a little bit longer. But one of the places they went to was a friend from cricket many years ago, and his wife Meg and daughter Ginger. Now Ginger is a little bit younger than Emerald, And I have put on Facebook a link to this video I'm going to run. And I ask you to bear with me. This is, to me, it's very important because I have met these people as well. I've met Ginger, and she is such a loving girl, but she has Cat 6A, and that just puts her a little bit behind everyone else. Watch this video, and here we go. I'm not going to say anything while it's happening.
Emeralds, adventures, emeralds. Emeralds, adventures, emeralds. Hi, I'm Emerald, and this is my channel, Emerald's Adventures. This week on Emerald's Adventures, to celebrate Rare Disease Day, we're talking to my friend Ginger about the Cat 6A syndrome. I also have a surprise for my grandparents, my auntie and cousins, but you have to wait till the end to see what it is. So we've been staying with our friends Matt, Meg, Ginger and Scarlett. Ginger's got this thing called Cat 6A syndrome. What is Cat 6A?
So Cat 6A syndrome is when there's a change on the Cat 6A gene. So some people are missing letters, like Ginger, she's missing 3 letters. If you're looking at an example where I write a sentence like this, the fat cat ate the rat, and we delete the H and the E from this the, and we move the letters forward, it then says the fat cat ate trap tea. So everything after where I deleted those letters doesn't make sense anymore. So that's a little bit like what has happened with Ginger on the Cat 6A gene.
How is life different for Ginger having Cat 6A?
Well, Ginger essentially is non-verbal. She can say a few words. Sometimes people still don't understand those words though. So that's a really big difference because we all use our words so much in our world.
I agree. Talking is very important. I like to talk all the time.
So she finds it hard to communicate. She has to eat special foods. She takes medication each day. She learns things a lot differently to the rest of us.
What is the Cat 6A Foundation?
A foundation that some of the other parents in America and myself started with the aim to raise awareness for Cat 6A because there's not much known about it because it is so rare.
Imagine having a kid and you know there's something different about them, but you don't know what it is. Wouldn't you want to know what Cat 6A was? That's why you should share this video to get the word out so more people know about it.
We work a lot with different doctors and researchers to try to find treatments to help kids like Ginger.
How do you raise money?
So we have a few things on our website, which is www.cat6a.org. We have a shop where you can buy t-shirts like these for Rare Disease Day, which is coming up on the 28th of Feb.
I've already ordered mine, and if you want to look as cool as Meg and Ginger and you want to support the foundation, then you should definitely buy one.
We also do a big walk every year at the end of September or start of October called the Cat Walk, where we raise money that way.
How many other people with the Cat 6A do you know of?
The foundation knows of just over 300 people in the world. There's more people out there with Cat 6A. I just don't think they've been diagnosed yet. That's why we try to raise awareness so that people know about it and then they get tested for it.
Cat 6A is so rare that you'd be more likely to win a lotto than have Cat 6A. What are some things Ginger is good at?
Ginger's really good at snow skiing and she loves it. She's also really good at swimming.
Now I know she's good at scooting because she scooted with me before. What's your favourite song? Now I know Ginger loves my show, so I thought for sure she would go Emerald Adventures, Emeralds.
Rainbow.
Do you want the rainbow song?
The rainbow song? The rainbow song? Ginge!
The rainbow song? Yeah.
red,
and yellow, and
green,
and
blue,
purple, and
orange,
and
blue.
blue. We can sing a
Okay,
rainbow.
that rainbow song was pretty good.
Have a kiss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. That was great. High five. Thanks for coming to say. Oh, Ginger wants a high five too.
I haven't seen my family in more than a year, so some of them came to surprise me. This is my cousin Florence sneaking up to surprise me. It's my nan, my granddad, my auntie, and 2 cousins. I have no idea that they're coming. Hello. Right now my head is exploding. I was thinking, am I dreaming? Like, do my parents know about this? Are they really here? And then I was just totally embarrassed.
Where's my cuddle? Yes, hello. Hello.
And when my granddad gave me a cuddle, it was so good. My mum was like, bye everybody in the family. Ha! It's not everybody in the family, Ace. That's it for now. See you in the next place. Bye. If you like my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe down the bottom. Emerald's Adventures.
There we go, got sound back again. How amazing is that? Now, Emerald puts out a video once every couple of weeks as she's cruising around Australia with the family. Her videos in the last few, the quality and production is doing this. Do yourself a favor. I think I've got a link in the description box down the bottom for her channel. If not, I'll put it there after the show. Subscribe to the channel. There's no comments that are enabled because it's a kids channel, you know, so they do that to protect them. But if you want to catch some of the stuff that they're experiencing as they're going around Australia, fantastic. The fact that she can see inside Ginger, not what we see on the outside, she sees the person. I think it's fantastic. All right. As everyone's saying there, misting up, me too. Very, very proud of her. Next thing. We've got Rare Disease Day, 4 fit hinges, and this day's on hit. Now, this box, you might be concerned or be thinking, how did I create some of these parts? Now, on the front here, I've got this, and it's married in the lid as well. Let's spin this around. This is going to be such a nice box. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. See that? That's the handle to open it. And I've got handles in the side. I'm going to show you how I did that. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, so it was daunting. Keep reading the comments down the side. The Emerald is just fantastic. Very, very proud of it. And her mum and her dad obviously is taking fantastic photos, all that kind of stuff. Do yourself a favor, follow her on YouTube. She's fantastic. Okay, so very, very daunting when I lowered this box down onto the router because one false step, throw it in the bin. Anyway, that's what we're going to do now is put the hinges on. I'm going to do a video on how, I keep on saying that, don't I? I'm going to do a video on how to put barrel hinges in. I didn't do it this particular way that I'm going to show everyone, but I managed to get it done. There was a little mistake and I fixed it, but I've worked out a really easy way to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is have a look at this hinge here. I think it's going to go that way. Very, very easy. Once you've drilled the holes, of course it's easy. Open it up at 90 degrees. This is the little barrel hinge. So you open it up at 90 degrees and put it in the hole. Actually, what I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to give this a quick rub with some 4000 grit paper. Now, I haven't got that out, of course. Let me see if I've got a piece here. Because I don't like a gloss finish. I like something to be a little bit of a satin finish. So giving this a quick rub. I don't know if you can see the difference. I've just rubbed this part with the paper and the part across the front. Now it's reflecting the light a lot. So give it a quick. I'm doing this before I do the hinge part because you can't really get in there with the paper. Once the hinges are in, you bump into them. I'll move a couple of these things out because I want to also do the outside. Oh, what a difference. It's just beautiful. Now, that's a satin, not a gloss. And that's how I like oil to look. It really does make a difference. This is 4000 grit platen. It's designed for the spray painters, automotive industry, but I find it works very, very well on finishes on timber as well. Beautiful. All right, now inside, we've got the part inside. And if you're watching Cole's show, there's my piece of ribbon. So I can pull this out if I want to. Push it back in. Cole, is that a piston fit? All right. So we'll go to Carl Camp for this little part while I put the hinges in. Where are we? And I have, this one is on the right-hand side, making sure that it's facing back, and I can push it up like that. And that one, and where's the other one? This one also on the right-hand side, oh sorry, on the left-hand side, and pushing down, pull it back up a little bit. I didn't get it quite square. See how when I'm putting them in, I'm making sure that the hinge is going directly back. Okay, I'm good with that. Now I can push it down to about there. That's lovely. I might get a little block of wood and a mallet or a punch and a mallet, that'll be fine. That's lovely. And this one, we'll tap him down a bit further. And it's pretty important you get them flush. That's got it. That's got it. With the surface. Now, when they're at that point, there's a little screw here, and you just tighten that up. I'm going to bring this other camera over here. And see if that one's going to work. And camera 3. That's going to work better. And you can still see the chat happening. 4.0 also works well. Yep, indeed it does, Ian. Indeed it does. And a little bit more affordable. Now, the 10mm barrel and up, and I think also the 8s, have these screws. The smaller ones don't have this expanding screw here. They only have a spot to be able to put a screw down beside the hinge. I don't know if you can see that. There's a tiny little screw here. They are so small. You've got to use a specialised tiny baby screwdriver to get to it. All right. Now, once I've got that done, move that out of the way, I can now, once I've quickly run this over with the platen as well, didn't quite get all this perfect, did I? This is still just a little tacky in here. The cedar is fine, but the Purple Heart, being a much denser timber, the oil is still being absorbed. I don't want to muck into that yet. I used Liberon finishing oil. Give this another quick touch here. Bring that up like so. One of the great things about this bench is these non-slip strips act as a cushion as well. Makes it really, really nice. This side here is not so bad. Now look at the gloss there. Let's see if we can just pull that down a little. It has done it, even though it's shiny, shiny, shiny at the moment. I'll work on that a little bit more when I haven't got the pressure of the show on me. All right. Bring this around here. Now what I'm going to do is bring those hinges up into position. And I've drilled the holes to receive up here. And slowly push down. That's all good, that's all good. We'll go to the other. Come back just a bit. All right. Maybe even around this side a touch, so you can see inside it while I do things. All right. Open her up and just slowly tighten those expanding screws up again. There we go. I did a small shadow line around here. Basically, it was just from sanding off the sharp edge. You couldn't see the join before, and now there's the handle. What a lovely box. What I'm going to do now is put the stays in. Now these are the stays. There's all sorts of different types of stays that you can get. The ones that Cole sent down to me were included in the hinge. I'll bring this back around here. There's other types as well. So there's this type, which has a screw into there and then another screw in here. And so as the box closes and opens, that's how that one works. This one is kind of a disjointed stay, I think possibly even for a multi-level box. I'd have to research that. Peter Lisiak would know that one really well. And the ones that I'm going to use are these. Yep, they do. Because you have to. Let me go back to this camera. David, the hinges only have a certain amount of distance. When they're closed, they're there, and then when they open up, they've got these arms. Now, you have to work it out. There's only 2 millimeters from the edge. The hinge is 5 millimeters radius, so 10 millimeters diameter in the barrel. And then by the time you open them up, you have to allow clearance for it to go past. Now I'm going to show you when it's fully open. There's not a lot of clearance there, only a small bit of clearance. So while we've got it there like that, we'll also work on putting the stays in. I'll bring that camera around to there and switch the other camera. I've just been reading the chat. There we go. So these stays, I need to open the box to the position I want it. And then these have got to go in. But the thing is, we have to make sure that the distance, these holes are the same distance from the back in the top and also in the box itself, and the same distance down. Now, when it's shut, we've got that kind of width there. I'm going to measure that, and I'm going to have to come down that distance. Let me have a look here. Use my combination square. So we are, the other end will be easier. I've got around ½ an inch, 12 millimeters. See, for you guys in the States, that's about ½ an inch. So 12 millimeters. So I need to come down 6. So I'll set my combination square to 6 mil. That's correct. That's correct, Carl. I think that'll be good. So I can now, I'm a little nervous doing this. I also need the distance this way. So that needs to be open fully. And then I can go like that. I think that's my point right there. We're going to give that a shot. Now, this is Australian cedar. Don't confuse it with Western red. Western red is a very, very soft timber. Australian cedar is also soft, but nowhere near as soft as Western red. Yeah, Western red cedar, I think, lives or comes from the Americas. I think that's where it's native to. Let me see, where have I put the screws? It's always the way, isn't it? I'll have the box of screws or the bag of screws somewhere, and then I have them there. They're right. I can't believe that. Okay, so I'm going to use 12 millimeter. These are 12 millimeter brass coated. How do I know they're brass coated? Because they stick to a magnet. I will be doing a video on how to do it and set it up absolutely perfect, David. So bear with me whilst I get my head around doing it myself. I'm going to put a screw in there first without having to muck around with the stay as well. Back that out. And I'm going to put a tiny hole in there. I need just that little bit more clearance than what I'm getting. I find the drill bits. There they are. I might just put the single stay on to start. I'll go down to a 1.5 millimeter. All right, and without going all the way through. Beautiful. Now I can put that stay on. Now if Cole's watching, he's probably cringing. That's all good. No, wrong way around, David. Now how do I know it was the wrong way around? There's a bend. See that bend? That bend has got to face down there, so as it closes, it's not going to catch the timber. Now bear with me, because as soon as I've got this stay on, I'm going to show you Wally's project, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, now the pressure's on, I can't get the screwdriver in the head of the screw. There she goes. Cool, that's good. Now the distance from there to there has got to be the same as that. So we'll do a measure, and I've got 2 inches, and open this back a little, 2 inches and 6. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep, cool, and the bradawl. Drill a hole. Oh, put the screw in. Native to Pacific Northwest USA. Okay. Yeah, multi-stage lid. Yeah, thanks, Peter. I thought you'd know. Back just a touch. Oh. You know what, I'm going to use a slightly shorter screw. I don't need to go that far. I've got 10s. Actually, they were 14s. I've got 12s here. When you're in a place that sells these things, buy a few different sizes. So I got these from McJing's down at Yaguna during the week. That's the first time I've ever been in McJing's shop, and I was amazed. Vicky loved it. She bought some 0.1 mil copper for her lead lighting. Again, I'm using a hand screwdriver rather than a machine. I think that's going to work. I'm not going to show you. Up there, and I need to just check. That needs to go in a bit deeper there. That one. See, just here, that hinge, I've got to release that out a touch and push it down a bit deeper. Now tighten her up. And what's the other side like? That's looking pretty cool. Okay, I'll spin around this way. And there we go. Hopefully it's going to work. There we go. Open her up. And it works. I'm so happy. I will be possibly putting a stay on the other side. I'll get to make my mind up. Off to work. Good on you, Paul. See you later. What do you think of that? Do you like it? Now, it's It's one of those things. They're a labour of love. I don't know if anyone would, you know, turn around and say, "Oh, Dave, give me 10 of them." Like, it's just something that I'm so happy doing it. Cedar was once common in northern New South Wales. The cedar getters the Tweed and Richmond. Yeah, that's Australian cedar, not Western red. I love it. I'm so happy with that. And it's got the little handles on the side. All right, what's the next thing? Wally. And don't forget the IMUFs competition. It's going to start when the show finishes. Midday, I think that's when I've set it so you can start it happening then. All right, so we've done that. 5 furniture from the tree in the backyard. That's the one. And don't forget the links in the bottom for the Woodworking Whiskers interview, and also the link for the rare diseases. Buy the Cat 6A t-shirt. I've got one ordered. It's coming. They're not cheap. The whole thing is they are fundraising for such a fantastic cause. All right, down we go to Wally. Now, I'm going to read this story. Now, remember, that tree that you're looking at right now, that is Wally's backyard. So what Dave says, Wally says, "Hi, Dave. Here are some photos of my new bathroom vanity build back in the hot summer of 2020 here in Sterling Heights in Michigan, in the States. The cabinet materials, drawer and door frames are made from the birch tree from our backyard. Door and drawer inserts from the bird's eye maple, cabinet boxes made from Baltic birch plywood, and soft closed drawer slides." The first picture is of the birch tree in my backyard that we decided to take down, and I saved most of the trunk for timber. The second picture is of me processing the timber and selecting the best for the cabinet. The third photo, after jointing, running timber through the planer and drum sander, taking a look at the beautiful grain. The fourth picture is putting on the edge profile on door and drawer frames on my router table. And the fifth photo, which I'll come to, is the finished edge profile. Now remember, this was growing in his backyard. How cool is that? Right, now the sixth photo, let's go down to here. Wally, you've done a magic job, mate. This is store quality, better than store quality. All 3 separate cabinets, drawers and doors assembled and finished with 4 coats of gloss, water-based polyurethane inside and out. Now the 7th photo is the cabinet completed, installed with sinks, LED light faucets, new flooring and new quartzite countertop. Now I told you about that barley post in the corner. He said he sent me some video. He's making a test spindle with a homemade milling machine made from the woodsmith's plan. Finished spindle made from maple timber I had in stock. Now you watch this and get amazed. And remember, that's the finished product. How cool is that? Wally, I take my hat off to you, buddy. That's just absolutely amazing. What a talent. What a talent. You must be so pleased with it. It looks brilliant. All right, I'm going to read through the end here. IMUF's Rare Disease Day, finishing off the box and hinges. It's on that. Wally, check the raffle copter. Start date is today well, it should be live now. Let me see what we've got on this page. Win the pair of G6 IMUFs, and as I said, I'll show you the other ones I've got. You know, I've got these guys as well. They sell replacement lenses and also sunglass lenses for them, and they're really easy to change out. I had a look at mine this morning because mine have developed a little crack here, and they're fully aware that over time that will happen. So you just squeeze here, and it pops out, and squeeze again. And there you go. Brand new lens. Got to have the other side as well, of course. There we go. all brand spankers. Now, one of the other things was, I think I made comment last week that John Lafferty has had his kidney out, so he has no kidneys now. He's on dialysis, and they've moved him back to Canberra Hospital from Westmead up in Sydney, and he's absolutely loving the food down there, apparently. Is that right, John? The food is fantastic. Fantastic in not the positive sense of the word. All right. Thank you again to my patrons. I'm going to be going live with them for a Zoom meeting in about 2 minutes. At a certain level, you get your name read out in the show every now and then when I remember to do it. So here we go. We've got Johannes Mohr, John Parra, Vincent Ngian, John Lafferty, Peter Woolworth, Brian Del Vecchio, Justin Bailey, Father Brett Guthrie, Mike Deam, Wayne Cargill, and John Lynch. If you want your name read out there, jump onto my Patreon site. There's links in the description down there. I might even send you a really nice mug as well, depending on what level you come in at. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Intro and text. Look after yourselves, be nice to each other, and I shall see you next week. Don't forget, Emerald's Adventures. Check it out.